This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we talk about never ever lowering your calories. Also, we delve into advanced training techniques. Are they even worth it?
Three, two, one. That woman always makes me laugh.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Damik.
And me, Tom Hall. It's kind of
I'm all good. I love how it gives you the option when it tells you that it's recording to leave or continue. Like, what if you like? I love how they're the two options. It's like, yeah, continue or leave meeting.
I'm pressing record, and I obviously don't get the option to leave my own meeting.
No, yeah,
yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
The Zoom lady is it surprises me every time I do it. Like, I'm like, oh, there she is. But then I like when she first did it, I had to listen to the edit and be like, does she show up? Does she say it on the audio? Because I'd love that.
Surely not.
I'd be absolutely fine if she was the first thing that we said on the show.
Yeah.
This meeting is being recorded. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Jess. That's what we call her.
Is that what we call her?
Jess, the Zoom lady. Yeah, I think that's what she's called. What's going on? It's
Not a lot.
The weather is incredible.
Tom posted today. Oh, London's lovely when it's sunny. Oh.
It is so good. It is so lovely.
It's not. It's full of people. It's full of lots and lots of people.
It's not though. Like, because COVID's still a thing. Like, it's still relatively quiet. And I don't know whether some schools are still on half term. I'm not too sure.
Well, in London, there will be all the posh schools.
All the posh schools. No, they're actually not. Like, so my clients' kids are back at school this week. I'm assuming they all go to crazy prep schools, and I think some of my clients' school go to the same one as William Harry went to. Which
Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, that's where you go. Yeah, I think they're back. But it was interesting because the Marylebone Club, where I personal train at, is currently closed for the week. So it closed on Saturday. There has been we'll say it on the podcast. I'm sure nobody's really caring what what it is. But on Saturday there has been a leak, and I believe it's a bit of a sewage leak. Ooh. So the club, I believe, smells a bit. So they're having to clean it thoroughly, I believe. So yeah, that is going to be closed, I believe, for the week. So I am personal training out of the Soho Club. Woohoo! You can come find me in Soho. But obviously not all my clients want to go that far because they got jobs and stuff and schedules to stick to. So it's interesting. Obviously I can claim for their sessions off loss of earnings because not my fault that that the club's got a leak. So yeah, which is wonderful. So yeah. So I'll spend a little bit more time outside, or will I spend more time at my computer finishing all the other stuff?
I wonder.
I wonder
the
what
benefits of having two jobs. Hey, you've always got something to do now.
I know. People always like, yeah, what how many jobs do you have? I was like, actually, I have 3, Daniel. Full-time carer for you, mate. So
yeah, I mean that.
No.
Mate, as long as I got food and drink here, I'm all right.
No, I still hold my education post at First Base. I'm still one of the education coordinators. Unfortunately for them, I still guide that and do it. I did an interview. I did an interview last week. Crazy. Who knew we were hiring again? Did they pass?
Yeah.
They did. They did pass. Yeah. Wonderful.
Good.
Well done, Holly. If you're listening, she did actually say, as soon as someone says they've listened to the podcast, it's a straight pass. You could do anything in that interview.
Know what to say, don't they?
I was like, she was like, yeah, I listened to some of your podcasts in lockdown. I was like, amazing. I was like, thank you for knowing and stroking my ego and knowing who I am.
Yeah. You have nothing better to do during your lockdown.
I was like, that was unfortunate. And she listened to some of the ones, obviously, because of First Base Connection. She listened to some of the ones with the First Base crew on, like Josh Silverman and Henry.
Yeah.
And guys. And I was like, you poor bastard. I'm sorry for wasting your time. You'll never get that back. But yeah, she was really good. She was really lovely personality, so really good. Lovely, mate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess we have to. I feel like the current theme. I just have to congratulate my students every other week, don't I? Basically, all the myprotein PT scheme group all passed their level 3 practical assessments on the weekend. Woo!
That's very good.
That's good. They're not finished yet because they've still got to do their learning achievement portfolios. Woo! So that's got to be this week. And
cool.
It is the most boring thing in the world, and I love like they obviously like talk to me like I know what they're doing. I was like, guys, I've got to stop you right there. I don't even look at the laps. I was like, I do all the practical things because that's what I'm good at. There's not enough payment underneath the sun for Luke to pay me to sit down and mark your laps and coursework. Trust me, not doing it. I have people for that. Yeah, I will do the in-person assessments because I do those. That's fine. And yeah, I want FaceTime. I want to be the one you remember when you pass, not the laps person who actually says you passed. That's on the other side of the keyboard. Yeah, it's fine. All about the glory, mate. But yeah, they did well. So, and it's no rest of the wicked because they complete that and then they're straight onto PTcore. So unfortunately, myprotein will be having some great trainers who maybe they can put their content out because their sessions are going to be pretty good.
I need it.
Pretty good compared to some of the stuff they put on their thing. But yeah, they'll be all right. They'll flow with content, and yeah, that'll be good. So I also just have to do a little plug. I mean, because myprotein apparently kicking on me. If you want to join the myprotein PT scheme and you are a qualified personal trainer, slide into my DMs. I can hook you up with something, and you can get in a little Facebook group, and you can actually get 35% off myprotein stuff, which is quite big. Yeah, so if you want to do that and join a little scheme, you might get some fun and prizes in there. Basically, obviously the PT Collective is the chosen educator for that, so you're not just getting like myprotein all the time. You're getting us. Like that. So yeah,
that's the real reason to join.
Correct.
Access to that.
Access to us. Yeah, which is obviously cool. We're just trying to get a few people in the scheme, and we want authority figures. There will be certain things such as chances to write for certain magazines and media, Daily Mail, all that kind of Daily Mail. Could have picked another newspaper, but yeah, different.
Any other
newspaper, just newspapers and articles and journal things and journalistic content, which I actually thought I wasn't allowed to do because I was like, I'm in there as an educator, Darren. But if nobody else wants to do it, I will quite happily write for them. That's absolutely fine. Or just say this is because of this and put my name on it. That's cool.
There you go.
But yeah, if you join the scheme, probably going to be you because I'm always not going to put my hand up for it because I'd rather other people in the scheme do it. Lovely. All right. So DM me if you want. Instagram, probably that thing. And then I'll throw you some stuff. Lovely. All right. I'm not plugging don't use my code to buy things. I'm not plugging that. I'm just join the scheme so you can do stuff. Yeah. I'm not that kind of person. I don't care about any money that comes through. I don't get a dime from that, by the way. So absolutely fine. Yeah. Lovely, mate. What's been happening in your week? Fun weekend?
Yeah, I had a bit of a chilled one last week. I had I went to Wales. So Laura and Isabel were up in Wales, so I went to see them at the weekend, which was nice and chilled out. But I'm really struggling to get back in the swing of things. I have no idea why. I don't know why. I just feel really. I don't know. I was supposed to film some content and do something else today, and I just didn't really do any of it. And I just felt a bit like I couldn't be bothered. My back hurts as well Monday. So what the smart thing to do is, by the way, Tom, if you do drive 4 hours in your car on a Friday to Wales and then spend the weekend pretty much sat down with the odd walk, then drive back Sunday 4 hours in a car, is on Monday morning go do back squats. That's usually a good thing to do. So yeah, I said last week on the podcast, I had last week off training. I just didn't have enough time, didn't really train. I took a bit of a deload. And then as I was getting back into it, I was like, I feel okay. I'll just, in my program, I've got back squats, 5-5, 5-3-3 or whatever it was. And I was like, I'll ease into it nice. And it was literally on the warm-up sets. I got up to 90 for 5. And I was like, okay, well, that's going to hurt if I carry on doing anything. And so I stopped. And it's just started it's not really bad, but when you just there's a reason I don't back squat, and this is it. I'm just a bit too tight. I just need to just do split squats forever. So I spoke to my coach. I was like, look, it's like, let me stick to front squats and let me do split squats. So I just don't. I've got no reason to back squat in my life. I've got no reason to it.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was just like, that's just put me off now. I'm just like, I just can't be bothered. Like, and the annoying thing was I was actually feeling quite good. Like 80/5 went up real quick, and I was like, this is still a warm up. And I was like 90, and I was like, oh, hang on. I was like, what's that? That doesn't feel great. So yeah, and then just had to sort of like the rest of the session just had to sort of adjust it somewhat. And even today was upper body, so it's fine. I still went and did stuff, but I'm at that point now in my lifting career where you know when like little things are like, I'm like, if I stop now in this warm-up set, this will be a 2-3 day thing, I'll be fine. If I was to push through and go, oh, it's fine, that would have been 2 weeks. I'd have been fucked. So I was like, no. Do you know what I think is actually as well, like I said this to him, is that I think I've really underestimated the impact that playing basketball again has had on me. Because on Wednesday, I had the first Wednesday I had 2-hour session of basketball and fucking was in pain, like just muscles, body, everything. Didn't sleep well, didn't sleep great. And then this one just gone, did the same thing. Didn't really train much during the week, was fairly sedentary, then had 2 hours of basketball. And you just realize just all the landing, the jumping, the moving, and just how much that load goes through that back of yours. And I was just like, do you know what? I was like, I've just been a twat, and I've just gone, oh yeah, I'll just keep up the same level of training intensity. It's no problem. And yeah, that's just quite a few things culminated in it. Like, we're not all perfect, are we? Do you know, we all fuck up. We all think we're superhuman, but it's yeah, it's not great.
I know. Well, I didn't train over the weekend, and obviously I was lecturing, workshopping, seminaring, whatever, teaching, both days, and then I didn't train yesterday. I didn't train today, mainly because I had to slip myself a pill on Saturday morning because I slept and had one of those jarring sensations where you can't move your neck. They're the worst, and like, it happens to me sometimes, like especially when like it's a change of temperature or I slept weirdly over my pillows or something like that. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I need it to go crack, and I can't turn my head to the left. I can still feel it a bit now, but I was like, I knew I had to move because I move around. Anybody's like seen me when I feel like a performer, when I give lectures and seminars and stuff like that, I move around. And obviously there's a lot of demoing in terms of exercise and stuff I was doing over the weekend for my protein lot. And I was like, I need to take some hard fucking painkillers, anti-inflammatories to get this down so I can cope with today. And I was like, I'll suffer the consequences on like Monday. But it's been okay. It's eased off a bit though. I went and sat in the sauna. I was just like, this is my executive workout for the day. The old exec workout. Lovely.
That always helps, doesn't it?
Does help. You're like,
I just feel like I need like. When I woke up this morning, it did feel a lot better. So it's just that whole thing of like when you're on your feet all day as well. It's like, like, gets you a little bit.
But yeah, all good. All lovely. It was good the weekend. Right. So we have a few topics. Dan's going to talk about why you never ever would lower your calories. Under no circumstances, once they've hit a new base low, but you still manage to get them that low anyway. So how do you lower them? But yeah, when you hit a plateau, right? We're going to talk about that. We did some stuff over the weekend, which I like talking about what I've done, or just general musings when I discuss in terms of seminars and what we're going through. So there was the lucky people. I opened their obviously they're doing the level 2 and level 3, so this is their level 3 assessments, and they wouldn't have touched any of this kind of stuff with a barge pole previously, so it doesn't come across in any of the level 3. So that's why I decided to teach it for 4 hours on Saturday. I taught them a bit of like upper body and lower body. I did all lower body continuums, which was good. Opened their eyes. It was a nice little progression of how to do stuff. And how they do, but I got me thinking about, so they get assessed on advanced training techniques. So I thought we'd discuss them, Daniel, and basically I've written underneath it, because as we were going through them, are they worth it, basically, and we'll go through the advanced training techniques and we'll say whether they're worth fucking even programming or not. And then, because obviously this is no fault of their own, it's just how the level 3 is geared towards. Once they've learned these advanced techniques, they are basically asked and pushed to put them in the program that you do in your assessment. And I'm sorry, like obviously I was like, all right, assessor Tom, perfect. Coach Tom, wouldn't fucking do this at all. So we'll see. I was like, this doesn't work. I was like, it won't work the way this is done. I was like, correct? Okay, cool. All right, let's move on. So we'll go through that. Obviously, some of the guys might listen today, but they already know my thoughts on all the stuff, because obviously I took them to the side and gave them feedback, which is the most important part about doing those fucking assessments, is making sure they know the feedback and what they need to do from then on. And then I thought we've got stupid things on the internet this week, mate, because
it's back.
I know it's back.
Well, that's where my content comes from. Whenever you say to me, "What's going on this week?" I'm like, "Well, I saw this fucking moron talking about this. And talk about it."
Well, this is more. I think it always has to be. So if we do stupid, to be honest, it should just. We said it was checking up on Joel Seedman, right?
Yeah.
Basically, it could be that. But that is we do that monthly, okay? Check in with Seedman. But this is it just has to be a video that I can either you show me or I show you, and you just have to giggle and narrate what's happening. I think that is our new stupid things in the internet, because it has to be only one of us can bring it to the table. I will do it today. All right. I have sent it to one other person in the world because I thought it was funny and we had an inside joke about it. But yeah. And Daniel knows that. It'll give you. It was Alex Krajewski, one of our former guests. I sent it to, so you can you can see where it's going down. Definitely down the rehab route. But yeah, interesting. All right. What we're gonna do? Protein bars, mate. So obviously I was with myprotein, so I've got like about 20 of them, and I actually got Swolesome Foods. I'll rip the thing. You got them. I sent the delivery thing to Dan. He was like, "So have you even got an email going?" That
no.
So this is the brand in their tissue paper, and I've got Bicky Butter, Caramel Brownie, Hazel Naughty Brownie, Egg Hunt, and Chocolate Truffle. I appear to have 2 chocolate truffles. I don't remember ordering 2. Oh, no, you know what I did? I did a selection box. That's why. Did you just order 5?
I just ordered one of each, yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed that there was a selection box, which was actually cheaper than ordering them all singly.
Brilliant.
And you can get 6.
Thanks for the heads up, mate.
I mean, do your research, Dan. Look at the pricing. Look at what they do. Come on. Check the small print. Basics, Daniel. So I do. So, I mean, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to try one. If that's all right. So you can talk. Should I try the one that I have 2 of?
That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do the chocolate truffle protein bar. It is. I'm enjoying the packaging. It's pretty like legit. It's almost like a little. You know, you get coffee beans. It's exactly one of those packets. It's a coffee bean packet basically, which is pretty nice. I'm assuming pretty expensive per bar. You get that, a coffee bean package basically.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane. So you got Swolesome Foods, 20 grams of protein, chocolate truffle protein bar filled with smooth silky chocolate, casein cream filling, coated plentiful in a layer of no added sugar luxurious Belgian chocolate, and drizzled in scrumptiously sweet white and bitter sweet dark chocolate. All right, give the little open. Oh, resealable packet as well, mate. Mate, packaging game is good.
Resealable? That's impressive.
Resealable. Yeah, I might fill this with goodies.
Coffee beans. Well, I had before the show, I had an Yorkie orange. So there you go. That's what I had. And they are a lot fucking smaller than they used to be, aren't they? And of course, nowadays can't have the not for girls marketing.
Also, those bloody women can eat them now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, you can't put not for girls in there. Not because it's against feminists or anything like that. Just because someone who doesn't have a gender will probably flip their fucking top as well.
Yeah. Correct.
Like, am I allowed to or not? Then like, oh fucking, I'll just eat the chocolate bar. It looks good. What is it? What? Chocolate brownie, that one. Truffle.
Chocolate truffle. So it looks nice.
I just pray into God, by the way. I just want to say this out loud before you bite into it. I'm praying to God it's not as like the other one we had where it looked really good and then it was like, meh.
Yeah.
What was that one?
What they were called. Protein.
I can't either. Bakehouse or something.
Yeah.
praying. Yeah, I will talk, mate. It looks good. It's got like a marble effect chocolate on top. My concern is it's just going to be the same as that. That's my main worry about it. And I'll tell you what, as well, I've ordered Protein Pantry today. I saw they're in stock, so they're coming on Thursday. So at least I'm gonna have some for the next show. Good ones. Cherry Bakewell, of course, because it's fucking incredible. Best one going, that one.
Not gonna lie, it is quite similar to Bakehouse.
Yep. I could see it when it was there. I could almost see like the bar
flat, right? So it's got the gooiness. It's got a little bit of like obviously the protein bit at the bottom, but no texture. Again, we say this, they are good bars, okay? They are great bars, but
the standard is Protein Pantry with cake bits in it. If you can't have fucking cake bits in it, you're behind in this game. Seriously, guys. The Soya Krispies, the crunchiness of the hazelnut cream one, the cakiness of the birthday cake, Jaffa cake, Cherry Bakewell.
It's insane of that one. Like that's the thing.
It's
like
so good.
So good.
It's like insanely good, and like this is the frustration you see.
So I'm
now not looking forward to them turning up.
I'm looking forward to the egg hunt one. That looks quite fun. And I'm a fan of brownie stuff. So the salted brownie thing looks more kind of solidy brownie. So I'll be interested in those. So don't get me wrong, a good like solid 7.5 out of 10. But basically every Protein Pantry is probably 8 and upwards, right? So that's where we're going from. And then like all the other generic stuff is normally like 7s, 6s, 5s and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go 7.5 because it is better than I would rather have that than a grenade bar, for example. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, it's just not as great as I thought, unfortunately. Are they as expensive? So what's that? 20 with packaging. £5 for delivery. That's quite a lot. So 25 quid for 6 bars. Almost a £5 a bar. It's £4 a bar basically, isn't it? £4.50.
It's just not as good as Protein Pantry. It's not, you know.
Unfortunately, and I'll wash it down with a Sublime Lime Coca-Cola. One of the greatest drinks known to man. On sale in Waitrose right now, guys. On sale.
Oh.
I had this discussion the other day. That's the end of Protein Bar Review, by the way. What's fancier, Waitrose or M&S?
I think Waitrose, isn't it?
You think? Because our M&S has just been redone, and it looks and seems way fancier now. And then, my buddy Josh was like, "No, are you joking? Like M&S is well fancier than Waitrose." I was like, "Oh, it's interesting. I don't really know."
I don't know either. I don't know.
There's a middle class statement to have and poll to put out. Which one's better? Yeah. I tend to my two locals are Waitrose and M&S, but because I refuse to go in the Sainsbury's, basically, because it's just it's gross. I don't really like it. Like all the veg and stuff is disgusting. I'm like, bleh. So refuse to go in there. Before you class me as a snob, Daniel.
No, I shop at the same places, mate. I can't say anything. Because we do all our food shopping through Ocado. So we were Waitrose,
correct.
And then
now you're
to
M&S.
M&S. So we just get whatever we can with that. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it all comes from the same fucking suppliers. To be honest, it's just different.
Correct. It's just different packaging. I also do. If anybody, I love the Ocado advert now. By the way, it's so cool. Go listen to that. You're not. Oh, it's so good because they're trying to make themselves obviously more accessible because obviously the posh people like Daniel use Ocado, and it's very much like Ocado is there for you, kind of like this guy, and he's like it's just very happy. It's really nice. I like it. Good. Go check that out if you haven't. Just YouTube the Ocado thing. But there are some people that I've talked about that with, and they find it infuriating. So I'm obviously the minority, maybe. All right. Let's go on to fitness, nutrition, and stuff. All right. So, Daniel, you asked me whether you've talked about this topic before. Yes, you have. But I'm not from this person. But in terms of plateauing, low calories and moving and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So basically, like I'm on TikTok, but I don't use it. I just go on it because it's a fucking very strange world, by the way, if you've never been into it. But I got told by someone that it's quite big for nutrition advice at the moment. Apparently it's quite a big thing. Nutrition and fitness is quite big on TikTok. So I kind of go on it and I follow a few people. Anyway, there's this one guy on there who actually was around years ago on Facebook and used to be just a massive fucking troll. Anyway, I think some shit happened to him. And anyway, he's resurfaced on TikTok and he's got 200,000 followers on TikTok, which is impressive, mightily impressive. Well, it's not
though, because I feel like
it's not because I think it's really easy. Yeah, I think it's really easy to get followers on TikTok and things like that. So yeah, it's one of those things. Anyway, so he's on there and I recognize the name, I know the name and all this sort of stuff. But anyway, he doesn't have to talk some shit, like, and I mean genuinely just talks absolute garbage. I just need to plug my headphones in, they're running out of battery. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh Jesus, Daniel. You can have a look at my
she just spoke to me and she just told me the battery's low, so I'll plug them in. So yeah, anyway, I've kind of like been really tempted to comment on some of his videos and just be like,
you get the anger up to just for that.
Oh, thanks, mate. I've just been tempted to be like, you're an idiot, you don't, whatever. Because, by the way, TikTok's really horrible place. The comments, vile, like absolutely.
We should do that
vile.
actually, like in terms of like reading out comments, and because YouTube's always the worst. It's traditionally the worst.
No, TikTok's worse than YouTube. TikTok is the worst. And the thing about TikTok is people then make TikToks about the comments and they'll put the comment up and they'll go, I'm replying to this comment, and it's just like, just pure, just really horrible shit, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But anyway, this guy basically put up a video and I just couldn't help but notice it. And I'm probably going to do a video on it at some point. I'm going to read out word for word what he said. And I made sure I wrote it out word for word perfectly because I couldn't actually believe what I'd read. A plateau just means that your energy in has matched your energy out. So we're talking about plateaus, right? Most people reduce calories. That's the wrong way to do it. You need to raise calories so you can move more. Right, bear in mind, this person's saying, I've hit a plateau, what should I do? He's saying, raise calories you're eating, right? That's what he's saying. So you need to raise calories so you can move more. If you're hitting a plateau, all it means is that your movement has slowed down. Never touch your calories. Never lower your calories ever. There's never an example. There's never a circumstance. I don't care who you are, what age you are. You should never lower calories. Never, ever. I don't care who you are, what age you are, should low calories, right? Now, this to me shows that this guy is absolutely fucking clueless, because whenever I work with a client, right, the goal is always getting them to move as much as possible in their daily life, right? But if you've got someone, and also to eat as many calories as they can for their goal, right? That's the other thing. If you've got someone, right, who is doing as many steps as possible, has got a busy job, busy life, kids at home, running around after them, all this sort of stuff, they're already doing, say, 10, 15,000 steps a day. They're already training 3 times a week. They can't do any more. His advice is to up your calories and move more. That's his advice. I'm like, what fucking planet are these people living on? So like literally, like,
move more. Oh,
not even. Idea. And he's not even saying he's not even saying move more. He's saying raise your calories and move more. Like, and he obviously, and he works with and targets obese people, right? So obviously good marketing, right? Tell obese people they can eat more food. Fucking brilliant. We're gonna love that, aren't they? This is the guy that I remember I did it before on a podcast where the person lost measurements and they lost 9 centimeters around their wrist. Same guy. This guy. This is the guy, right? And I was like, that shows you how clueless someone is. Like, you should never ever low calorie, right? What happens if you're on 2,500 calories, right? You're losing weight nicely, you're doing as much movement as you can, but you really want to lose another 5-10 kilos, and you're like, I'm not hungry. I could cut calories quite easily. No, never ever. Raise them. 3,000. Raise them. Don't never ever lower them. And it's just like infuriating, because all he does is then block people who comment saying this is fucking stupid, right? And all this sort of stuff. And it's fucking infuriating. Anyway, another video which I'm going to talk about. Fuck it, I'm on one now. I'm going to go for it. he's like basically saying how calorie trackers like on Apple Watches and stuff are just shit. They're all just estimations, or just approximate. They don't work, right? There's pointless following them, understanding them. And I'm like, yeah, do you know what? They're probably somewhat inaccurate, but I was like, at the same time, calorie tracking in is also an estimation and an approximation, and you fucking rave about that and tracking calories coming in, right? And he basically used the worst example I've ever, and I was so close to commenting because this was the second video I saw and I was pissed off. And he said, imagine if I went into a Ferrari garage and I said, how many miles can I do on a full tank of petrol? And the guy went, well, approximately 300 miles. He's like, well, approximately. What do you mean by approximately? Yeah, approximately 300 miles. He's like, well, how do I know if I can get there or back again? He's like, well, just approximately 300 miles. And I was like, that is the worst example ever to use, because you could drive it in first gear at 6,000 revs and you'd fucking burn through petrol. Like, I was like, you are an idiot, because it's always an approximation. So like calories estimated by your Apple Watch, your whatever Fitbit, they're not a bad fucking guess. Do you know what? It's a better guess than fucking nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
mate, I've been down that wagon before, because they're like, oh, but what are they? Are they really that good? Like, I've heard they're not great, and I'm like, you know what? It's better than guessing.
yeah, it's
better than me going. I'm
yeah,
just
exactly.
gonna lick my finger, put it in the wind.
Like, what do you want it to be? Like, what do you want it to be? Do you know, like, is that what you're asking me, isn't it? Because a lot of them now are done on heart rate. And we used to do it on heart rate monitors. You know, it's basically, that's how they judge it. How high your heart rate is, multiply that as a factor, an algorithm, roughly work out how many calories you're burning based on your height and weight as well. They take all those things into account, right, to give you an average number.
And
but
guess what? I'm pretty
just
sure this technology probably learns as well, because it starts to, because obviously the Apple Watch, based on the day, it will tell me you're normally about here today and you're not there today. And it generally knows my routine as well. It's quite intelligent in terms of how it picks up kind of just schedules and stuff like that.
But like I've got an Oura ring now, and it's sort of captures your heart rate a bit more through the day, but it gives me a good idea. So every day it tells me roughly my daily calorie burn. And days that I'm sat around doing fuck all, 2,500. Days that I move a bit more, 2,800. Days I move a lot, 3,400. I'm like, do you know what? Probably about right. I'll take that as an estimation rather than me fucking randomly guessing. Yes, if I tracked my calories and weighed myself more often, whatever, it would probably be more accurate. But it's also the fact that this guy preaches about calorie tracking, how great macro tracking and calorie tracking is, without understanding that that's always just a guess. That's an approximation. Like, the calorie labels don't, like, they haven't done it on that food in that bag. They've taken a sample size, and I don't know what the rules are. I should probably look it up, but they only have to recheck those labels every 6 months to a year, probably. Like, you can't tell me that every time they have a new batch of nuts come in that they have to put them all through a fucking calorie bombmeter, or whatever it's fucking called, and work it out. They don't. Like, again, the chicken, every time you go to Asda or Tesco, the chicken values, they don't change. But it's not the same fucking chicken you had last week, is it? It's not going to be identical. It's allowed to be within a 10-20% measurement range of error, because it really doesn't fucking matter, let's be honest, like those levels. And those watches are probably within 10-20% measurement error. They probably are. And like, I just don't understand how someone can be that dead against one thing but then really, really for another, and can't see the differences. But for me, it was the fact that he used that example, because I was like, well, every time you fill up your fucking car, you'd never do the same amount of miles on a full tank, because there's quite a few variables that go into it, mate.
Yeah.
So it's exactly, so what you're actually saying is, we can't ever work it out exactly. So we always use approximations.
I think it's a great analogy for the exact opposite thing he's trying to prove.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, to be honest, like burning calories is exactly like burning through your fuel to your car, because sometimes you go really fast, sometimes you go slow, therefore you're more economic. Sometimes you screech around lots of bends and you don't travel that far, but you burn a lot of calories or something like that.
Yeah, it's
in a
honestly
short amount of
frightening.
time.
But you know, this information is going out to fucking, hundreds of thousands of people, and he trains, like, he's famous for, I say famous, fucking, he's on TikTok, fuck me. But he's got this client who's really, really, really obese, and he's got him eating 5,000 calories a day, and he's basically saying how he's saving his life, he's losing weight, he's changing his measurements, and he's no longer binging. And I'm like, he's eating 5,000 calories a day, he's binging every day. Like, let's not beat around the bush here. But he's like, oh, most people would just drop his calories really low and tell him, you have to do all this stuff, and then he'd binge on food and all that. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I was like, I get it, but I was like, he's doing 5,000 calories a day because of his size. Let's not beat around. Like, he's fucking huge. He's carrying 230 kilos around with him everywhere he walks. He needs the calories. Like, but you could put that into any calorie calculator, you probably come out about 3,500. Like, you're not doing that much far away than where it was. And it's just a bit like, I don't know. I just fucking hate him. So there we go. He talks shit basically, but like, you can't tell me that guy wouldn't function okay on 4,200. Probably be alright. Probably the same.
It's crazy because I remember having one of my online clients, and they to put that in perspective of like, all right, we need to move more and never drop calories. So there are people out there that I'm sure. So warehouse workers. I had a labourer and a warehouse worker previously, and guess what? Their average steps in their onboarding week and onboarding 2 weeks was between 25 to 35,000 a day.
Move more. Got to move more.
Like he was cutting on 3,500 calories. And obviously I brought him down to that, but under that rules, like he's eating 4,000. He was obviously eating a lot to be able to like put on some weight whilst he's doing that. But yeah, move more. Are you joking? Like he's doing that much. I was like, mate, do you really want to go to the gym? Like, I wouldn't if I've worked 35,000 steps a day. Bonkers. So just put that in perspective. And then the tracker things, like I get the same conversations with heart rate monitors, like which one is best. And I think I had it on the weekend actually. Unfortunately, one of the assessors was like, "Oh, right, I've heard a bit of rubbish about my zone. Like, it's not as good as Polar, right?" I was like, "Maybe not, but it's far better than me going up to you and trying to take your heart rate manually and guessing where you are meant to be zone-wise."
Yeah,
so, like it's far better than that, and it's cool, and it's like does the zones and stuff, and it's about a community aspect more than anything else. So that's. Yeah, I think people are far too serious about some of this stuff. And guess what? The technology is getting better every day. Every single time they bring out a new thing, it's probably a little bit better than the last one. Yeah, it's expensive, but it might change your life. Simple. Like I can't think of it apart from when I know I'm not going to move. There's not a day I don't put my Apple Watch on, and I look at it all the time and check whether I've moved and that kind of stuff. That has changed my life. Literally, like I'll look at it and be like, especially through lockdown, I was like, oh shit, I haven't really moved today. Like I probably got to go do my 10,000. Like, yeah, these things change your life. So yeah, love them. I love them. If I was going to start my online coaching again, I said I would have a signing on fee for administration. And if the person did not have a Fitbit, I would send them a Fitbit. Literally. Yeah. I'd be like, all right, it's 70 quid, 75 quid admin fee. Pocket like fiver, buy a Fitbit, fuck it. You're going to guarantee results. And if they don't fucking put it on, you bought them one. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Quick tip for any online coaches out there. Guarantee results.
There you go.
Get yourself one of them. Literally just steps. All right. I have got written down here, Dan. You can spend 1 minute talking. I'm going to time this 1 minute starting from in about 10 seconds. Instagram marketer from today. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds you're allowed to moan because I know you want to.
Oh, this guy, I just don't get these people. He's a CEO of his company, right? He's got 28 employees. He's the one cold pitching on DMs about, do you want to grow your Instagram and build an engaged audience and all this sort of shit? I'm like, no, because if I have to do what you're fucking doing, I'm not doing that because it's fucking awful. Honestly, these people, like just a picture of him. What was it? Oh, what was his picture? I can't remember the quote. I'm not going to get
I did enjoy the pictures. You got 30 seconds.
Fucking hell, these pictures were like, there's just nothing to his content at all. I'm like, if this is what you recommend people do, wake up, dominate, repeat with a picture of him in a hoodie drinking a Starbucks. Got to have a vision. He's leaning out over a window sill. And then no matter where I am, I hustle. Brilliant.
I know, I saw that one. I like that one. Was he on a laptop or not? Oh, he's on the phone.
With the phone, looking at his phone. Sorry. Like it's just like it's a parody. It's just a parody. It's got to be.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I think people should go give him a follow. All right. All right, we're going to move on to some exercise base content. All right. So over the weekend, Daniel, it's an interesting one because I found myself going. I never really program these things in. If I'm truly honest, I don't do it as much as I used to because obviously I used to program a lot of powerlifting. Don't really program a lot of powerlifters anymore. Generally moved that away from that. But it's an interesting thing. Okay, so there's 3 things that level 3 personal trainers get assessed on in terms of advanced training methods and techniques. So number 1 is cardiovascular training techniques, which is an interesting one. I think the only one that gets used is interval training out of all these.
Tabata,
Okay.
probably called, isn't it?
And then I had to
Maybe.
explain.
It's
I
not.
had to explain what Tabata was. Like obviously they were like, oh, "We can just do Tabata, right?" And I was like, "What does that mean?" Like, just this for an amount of time. I was like, no, that's a literal thing. Interval training, like or aerobic or anaerobic. They got tempo training. Nobody's doing that in a session, mate. Like tempo training is like, oh, we got a 10K run. You're going to run underneath that for like a little bit. Nobody's doing that in a session. Fartlek training. I'd like to see more fartlek training. I enjoyed, so one of the Aubrey, if you're listening, mate, I did enjoy, and it's something that I think we used to do at Third Space, in not particularly on fartlek training, but you bring a dice, and basically he had him on the assault bike, and then the guy, like the person on the assault bike, had to roll the dice, and whatever he rolled first was his work time, and whatever he rolled second was his rest time times 10. So he just add a 0 onto it. So it'd be like, oh, are you gonna roll a 6? Oh, he's got to do 60 seconds of air bike like all out, and then he'd be like, oh, you only got 10 seconds rest. Sorry.
Don't fancy that.
I thought that was quite cool. I was like, but it could go the other way, right? 60 seconds of rest and then 10 seconds on. So, which is absolutely plausible for anaerobic respiration. I was like, I quite like that. I'm gonna bring a little dice. It did seem a little bit like, who's the? I feel like there's a. I don't know. I know there's Two-Face who does like a flip of the coin, doesn't he? Decide if you're dead or not, or you survive.
Yeah.
But it feels a little bit like a game of chance, obviously, like that. So I don't know who's got a dice. Is there a baddie that's got a dice?
I don't know. I feel like there was one though that had something
MCU
similar.
nerds, like hit me up. I'm sure there is one. Yeah, I know there's an X-Man who throws cards and shit, but yeah. But I know it's like the flip of the coin that's deciding whether you live or die, that kind of thing. Russian roulette. And then there's cardiovascular circuits. Who does that? Who literally goes from, I'm going to go on the running machine for 10 minutes, then I'm going to go on this.
Well, most people.
Assault bike.
That's what most people in the gym do when they
weird,
go.
Isn't it? I was like,
stepper for 10 minutes, run for 10 minutes, row machine for 10 minutes, go. If that's your gym routine, message me and we'll sort you out. I'll help you.
I will give you something for free. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's like but that's also a fear thing though, right? That's what that is. That's a don't have the confidence to use anything else. It's just,
cool.
Understandable.
All right, so moving into the stuff that I thought was quite interesting was the resistance training methods and techniques. So Dan, I want to just going to ask you basically. So we got pyramids and wave loading. So do you do a lot of pyramid loading?
No,
I tend not to either.
I don't know because I don't do that many sets. Like you got to have at least 5 sets to do pyramid, really. Like thinking about it,
you got to do like 2 warm-ups and then probably work up to that to come wherever, right?
It's more the coming down,
it's ascending, or you can do an ascending pyramid, so only on the way up, and then you don't have to come on the way down. So you don't always have to come on the way down because obviously, like you got like, so if
I do that anyway. I do that anyway. My rep ranges based on like the weight you use. So I would do like 10.86 or something like that, or 9.75, which fucking throws people off. Don't do a 9.75. So I do like 1 week 10.86, then 9.75, then 8.64, which is similar. But then I also would then maybe put like a back off set where they might do 10 or a 12 after that.
I think that's
that peak weight and do a bit more volume.
Yeah,
they want to do a bit more.
I think that'd be gauged. According
pyramid
to
E,
literature, isn't it? That would be a pyramid. Yeah, that'd be
pyramid E.
Because obviously the weight's going up, but the reps are going down, right? So it's like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Most people do pyramids that they do like 15, 10, 5, 10, 15, or
something like that. And it's like, God. Supersets obviously we do that all the time.
Yeah, I don't even call that. That's just training now.
That's just,
just,
literally like
that's just
supersets and
don't waste your time in the gym.
sets. That's just like crack on, work hard.
Yeah.
Drop sets.
Sometimes, yeah, for people that need to do
Sometimes.
more volume.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
I
say
do it
so.
more for like weaker body parts or arms or isolation movements if someone wants to work
Correct.
on more volume for a certain body part.
One of the caveats, obviously, it doesn't say this in the book, and it should. Don't put that as A1 or like B1.
No,
Don't do it
that's
as a
the end.
compound. Don't compound your and drop set. Don't do that. I basically said as a rule of thumb, single joint or machine based, do that, and it's got to be at the end somewhere. Then it's because it's got to be safe because you're trying to burn out, even though the book doesn't really say to failure. Basically to failure. Partial reps.
No.
Yeah.
You probably do more in rehab stuff, probably, but
yeah, I guess so. But like, I don't like go with the idea of like we're doing partial rep training because I struggled with the concept. If I'm really honest, like when I was trying to teach it, I was like, what do they mean by this? I was like, do they mean like board presses, kind of like partial repetitions? Like it'd be like, all right, you're gonna do, I don't know, a rack pull, all that kind of stuff. Which, FYI, I've gone full circle on these. Fucking stupid exercise. Oh, I'm gonna load it up really heavy. That even though getting out the hole is probably the hardest thing, pulling off the floor, but I'm gonna really think about like pushing my hips and lock it out. Nobody struggles with that. Yeah, fuck off. Ego lift. I used to do them. Realize it's dumb as fuck. Yeah. It's really hard to lift the deadlift off the floor, not to just slightly tuck your pelvis at the top. Yeah. So partial reps. What do you class them as then?
I'd have thought it'd be like 21s. You know, you do like 7, 7, 7, like just literally partial reps, like partial range of motion.
Yeah, so that was another thing. Yeah, it was like, oh, I do this part of the bicep, and then I do this part of the bicep. And I was like, is that a thing? Like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I know it's a thing, but I would never program it. My only partial reps would be stuff like that, like a board press, where I'm working from a certain point or wanting them to pause. I was like, all right, does that like put in like pull-ups? I ask people to pause at 90 degrees sometimes, and then they'll pull straight up and back out again, or they'll pull straight up and back down or something like that, or they'll do partial to halfway, then go back up and then come back down.
Maybe that classes, does it? Maybe.
I think that might be classes. And so I kind of classed it as also 1.5 repetitions. Sometimes if somebody's trying to build their ass, I might ask them to do 1.5 like lunges, like when they're doing walking lunges. So they kind of do a lunge, split squat, lunge, split squat, lunge, split squat kind of thing. So it's like 1.5. So not really sure what that means, partial reps. Yeah, not intentionally anyway. I'm not a half rep Harry for squatting. Don't like that. You know who does do partial reps? Joel Seaman. No.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Forced reps. Obviously, you don't do one-to-one PT, so it's a bit hard for you.
Yeah.
Forced reps. I tend to not to, if I'm truly honest. I tend not to do any forced reps. I mainly think if they're doing forced reps, you haven't taught them how to bail, and maybe you pick the load wrong. Sometimes it'll be there. Maybe I'm just like, but I'm more like helping them up. Like I'm like, all right, I didn't actually want you to do the repetition. I'm like, because you see the classic forced rep for like the shoulder press, don't you? It looks like absolute garbage, and you're like, that guy can't lift that weight. Full stop.
No,
absolutely nothing. Like full stop. He can't concentrate lift that weight.
Literally the form police page, basically.
Yeah. So which brings me on to maybe negative reps, and that's actually what they're doing. If it was like, we're going to take the concentric and then they negative it, that's plausible. Yeah, bosh. Also in the manual, literature's wrong. Shock. It says you can negative rep 105% of your 1RM. Completely wrong. Do you want to know what it's nearer?
130, something like that?
170.
Fucking hell.
It's nearer. You can probably control on the way down, negative rep, eccentrically down a 1RM of 170% for 1 rep. Yeah. So, yeah. Obviously, don't really try that at home because you ain't fucking getting it up again. But you can understand, obviously, that's all the way down, and then you're not doing you're not doing anything concentrically. Okay, you're just like you are fucked from that eccentric phase. In theory, you can do that, but yeah, it's a lot more than 105% anyway. I would probably go with the 130% would be the safer thing to do if you want to train that way. Lovely. Don't really do them though, I'm true honest, because it's quite hard to set up and put back. So cluster sets.
Yeah, again, for the same reason as drop sets, I would do them.
Yeah, I like the cluster
Intensifiers.
sets. So it's like you're trying to get in a little bit more volume at a higher intensity, kind of the higher load. So you kind of like, all right, you're going to do 5 sets of 2 in 20 seconds rest, which equals your set of 10 kind of thing. Yeah, you're able to lift the load more over a short amount of time at a higher intensity kind of thing. So I like those. I tend not, I will program them for like pull-ups. I think most of the time I do a lot of clusters for pull-ups because I feel like the person needs a little rest. I don't do them for much else, if I'm truly honest. And then a resistance circuit. That's your circuit training. Lovely. But I found it quite interesting because all of those are things they're suggesting. And then obviously it tells people to program them. And it's like, if I'm really honest, I don't really program drop set. I feel that's done on feeling a lot of the time. I might, but I'll be like, all right, we'll drop set that one today or that one today. It might be that. And I probably don't do it like every week as well because I want to hit certain stuff. I don't go into the plan going every week you're going to drop set your bicep curl. But that might just be me. I don't know. I just don't write those into my plans. If I'm truly honest, it's more of a feeling as I go through coaching. I'm like, all right, that seems like it needs to be taxed out a little bit more. So I'm going to fuck it up with that more than anything else. And then the last one is flexibility techniques, which is an interesting one because this is going to bring me on to why breathing can be important. Then we'll move on to stupid things. So partner stretches, maintenance and developmental. I found these ones I was like, there's a difference. All right, okay, cool. I like it's just somebody stretching you out, obviously. And then with maintenance, you're not doing anything. And then with developmental, you push them a little bit. I was like, do people do that and not push them a little bit? I was like, really? I was like, wait, who does maintenance stretching? That's weird.
Weird.
And then there was contract relax PNF and then contract relax agonist PNF, which is basically the first one you do an isometric tension without you, and then the other one you actually push back. I think everybody knows the agonist one and don't realize there's an isometric one. You could also do an antagonistic one as well if you really wanted to get geeky with it. But yeah, I did that, and then I made the person like breathe, like some PRI breathing techniques and some crocodile breathing techniques about diaphragmatic and chest breathing and getting them to move my hands up and down whilst doing that, and changed their lives. So it can, they were chilling out doing PNF stretching for a while. So they had a little bit of gauge more of their hamstring. And then I reckon I took them another 10, 15 degrees more on their hamstring flexibility just through breathing control. So it's all about kind of, I believe it's into your like parasympathetic nervous system. So it's like all that other crap that's going on. And it kind of has a little bit of an effect on the base of your pelvis and the base of your spine. And it chills out everything a little bit more. And then the whole kind of stuff of like, oh, my hamstrings are really tight. They might not be. They might feel tight. Cool. But we might be able to kind of sort them out slightly, but it doesn't really matter because then I was like, all right, you got to go train on them. Otherwise, that's recoiling them back to where it was 15 minutes in 15 minutes, basically. So it's breathing's a big thing, I think, because I noticed it on the PT group as well for myprotein. People were talking about breathing patterns. I think people talk about breathing only when lifting, kind of the inhale, exhale of bracing, and that's it. Not the kind of crocodile, alleviate mobility and flexibility breathing. So it's a different thing. Just realized that. I thought it was quite fun. Quite fun, Daniel. All right, we're going to move on to our last thing, of course. Let's get this up. Where is he? Alex. I feel like I sent it to you as well, but I don't know. They're not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You sent me loads of shit.
I'm going to bring it to the screen. So
No, you haven't sent me that.
Okay, so this is Mr. One of the PRI wax. So PRI is a postural restoration institute. It's something that me and Alex Krajewski, a Harley Street physiotherapist, I can say that now, very respectable chap. This guy is, what's his name? Neil Hallerman is one of the PRI whack jobs, absolute down the rabbit hole. PRI is cool when you learn about breathing into integration and fitness. They are also fucking mental and basically scare people away from training properly. And this, oh, that's the wrong way, is his seminar.
Oh my God. The people are dancing to what, I mean, they're like doing something that looks like the Macarena.
It's not even that, is it? It's like an arm swing across like a monkey.
Arm swing and a hip dip and a fucking, I mean, it looks like your dad trying to dance at a wedding. Badly.
Anyway, that lad looks like he's enjoying it. Yeah, that's you're rediscovering your innate alternating rhythms through dance.
Wow.
Don't sleep on it, Daniel. Do not sleep on that. I want to see you doing that whilst you warm up. When you're about to do your alternating bench press, one arm bum, I want to see you.
Crazy,
you know, because you didn't rediscover it whilst walking in the door. Were you not doing you weren't alternating rhythmically when you're walking through the door? Oh, of course. You were walking with the right arm and the right leg going forward at once, and then the left arm like a robot.
Yeah, probably.
Of course you were. Okay, never mind. Silly me, us being contralateral motion human beings. Oh, okay, good.
You the big words.
It's insane. I was like, this is insane. Alex loved it. So he was like, I was like, do you want to do a new course? Basically, both of us have done PRI and we thought it was fun. We got some good balloons. Yeah. Any course that's got balloons, sign me up.
That's it. It's bound to work, isn't it?
Bound to work. It's got a balloon. All right, mate. Any other business?
Not from me.
Not from you. I hope you get your protein bars soon.
I hope so, mate. But I mean, after your review, mate, I'm not bothered now.
They're decent, okay? They're not the best, but they're decent. We're still on the hunt for amazing bars. If you can beat Protein Pantry, then let us know. Let us know. We need to buy shares in that. I
think you're going to struggle.
I think we're going to struggle. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you next week.
See you later.